Sorry, I'm practicing this. Women do that a lot. There you go. So I've got to practice. Got to fucking get up to speed with it. I've just opened up the glorious curtains, this little valance here, and just letting all the light. It's just wonderful. I was just enjoying a little tune, and I just watched Holly Valance. What was her name in? Her name on Neighbours was, it was like Tiff or like, I have to find out. Hang on. I can't see myself, so I better make sure I'm doing this. What was Holly Valance's character's name on Neighbours? It says Holly Valance. It didn't hear me correctly. Not like curtain. Holly. It's like curtains over Holly. I'm removing the curtain anyway. Australian Flick. I knew it. Flick. Felicity Scully. Isn't that an Australian chick's name? What's your Felicity Scully? It's my name. It's not my real name. They just call me Felicity Scully down at the pub because I love to scull back the beers with the boys. I love sculling back beers with the boys. My name's Felicity Scully, and I've gone and hung out with Tommy Robinson, and I've been sculling beers with all the boys across the world. Kiss, kiss. And I'm removing the curtain off Hollywood by shooting Mickey Mouse with a glass revolver behind my head. I'm shooting the Mickey Mouse vase. What does that mean? If anyone was just listening, they'd be like, that boy has truly lost his mind. It is terrible, and I 100% blame his mother. I blame his mother, and I blame Hollywood. Hollywood has skewed his mind and has turned him into a lady. And in his attempt to try and be a lady, he's gone truly round the twist. If he had have only had round the twist, and if it wasn't for all of that Freaky Friday and Freakier Friday, which is quite freaky, I've never seen a film. And the problem is I like Jamie Lee Curtis. I love her. I don't understand what is actually going on. But one thing I know for certain, and one thing I'm trying to not allow, is I'm not allowing this isn't fucking half time at the grand final, and we aren't switching teams and all going that, because it's like, as far as I'm concerned, you're all fucked. You're all fucked. Freakier Friday with Lindsay Lohan and fucking Jamie Lee Curtis basically squeezing a rainbow flag and fucking unicorn reference into every single micro fucking scene in that film. Bad. Also, what's bad is this kind of mockery by the far right extremists. It's all bad. That's why I brought my little brolly, and I'm going to talk all about it. As a lady, I'm going to talk about it as a lady. I think there just is a phenomenon going on. There is phenomena going on to do with the feminization of men. Pretty much because it's not very effective to be violent as a man, unless you're an army man, which I volunteered my own services and I got ready to do that. And then this is what I ended up doing. So the case in point. Or you're a rugby player, and then even still, it's like you're only allowed to do that on the field. And yeah, you're not even allowed to fucking bring a fucking busload of chicks up to your hotel room anymore. That was the only reason people used to be rugby players. Same as rock stars. You're not allowed to be a rock star anymore. You're not allowed to bring... There's basically the only way you're allowed to bring a busload of girls anywhere is if you're the courier at the local hospital and you're ushering those girls in to get their tits chopped off, thanks to all the amazing funding from the Australian federal government. That's right. The Australian federal government has just funded hospitals, their only point of call, and has completely exposed themselves as a medical totalitarian fucking hellscape or hell state. And yeah, this is the only acceptable way. If you're a rugby player and you've played and trained and, you know, you get all those winks and kisses and little flirtatious from a thing, if you decide to take a busload of those girls back to your hotel room, you will probably end up in jail. If you are a very highly subsidized and, you know, suspiciously fucking selectively trained surgeon who is getting trained to mutilate children, you can take busloads of children back to your little fucking anesthetic fucking temple and you can slice away willy-nilly, have at you. And this is because there is an attempt to cover up. There is an attempted cover-up, not CoverGirl, like I was recommended to use this morning. I don't need CoverGirl. I actually think if I put foundation and make too much makeup on, I don't like it. I don't like it when women wear too much makeup. So when I am one, I don't like that either. And this isn't for you. This is for me. Okay? Yes, I did notice my double chin. I noticed everything, and I am so upset about it. But there is a cover-up going on. There is a cover-up going on because of systemic abuse, industrial-scale medical abuse, medical malpractice, medical experimentation, government fucking bullshit, government fucking family court fucking, you know, what's it called? Just everything, you know, basically a rampant, outrageous experiment done, atheist scientism experiment done on the entire population of Australia, unwittingly, with absolute opposition, but it was just basically forced to the women, and then the women just waved their umbrellas around till everyone did exactly as they're fucking told. On the simplest of things, it's like, what would you rather, a hospital, or would you rather all the children dead in a trench? That's it. It's just the amount of bottled Karen energy that was used to do that, just that thing. Or would you rather, we have no hospitals, we need hospitals. Don't you know how important hospitals are? Otherwise all the little children are going to die in a trench. And the children aren't dying in a trench, they're being mutilated in hospitals. So pretty, like, you know, I think well done, Holly Delance. Well done for displaying that fucking, you know, very prominently displayed glass handgun shooting Mickey Mouse. That's what I saw. It might be the borderline personality disorder or the fucking covert fucking schizophrenia, like that movie, or it could just be this is where we live, and that we have to get used to the fact that we have an active running medical cult versus kind of the historic, you know, world common sense patriarchal monarchy religions and all that shit. And this is how we're fighting this war. We're fighting it with all this weird shit because we have to fight it with all this weird shit because the core argument is, would you rather than be in hospitals and medicated, or would you rather than be dying in trenches in France? Oh my God. That's it. But we're too far along from that. So the boomer women in their palaces of fucking wonder, they're kind of sitting there, they're like, well, this worked out really well for me. It's worked out really well. Look at all the joy. Look at all the joy. You know what I mean? And by joy, I mean literal fucking heroin, which is opium, which is it's called back to the Mesopotamian times, was called the plant of joy, which I found out grows way too much in Tasmania. So as the King of Tasmania, I have to basically declare to Donald Trump, I'm like, Don, my homeland that I was exiled from grew all the heroin that made your fucking people all die. And now that same organization is attempting to capture the entire country of Australia and usher them forcibly in with millions of dollars of PR, into fucking waiting, psychological torment, and fucking indoctrination centers, otherwise known as public hospitals. And I'd like to put a stop to it right now. I'd like to put a stop to this Iranian regime, to this medical cult, and to all the fucking people that think that they're doing the right thing. You're not doing the right thing, and I'm going to whack you with my umbrella until you stop. And Holly Valance is going to whack you with her umbrella until we stop. Basically, the feminization thing is to do with the medical shit. And we're trying to adapt strategies, right? A lot of people unconsciously. This is all happening in the kind of, what's his name? In the Darwinian sense, this is adaptation to an environment that has been fucking hurting us all and is basically just pushing the whole world and every woman in Australia towards Iran so they can be part of some fucking Middle Eastern harem, and the Chinese can then sell them shit, I guess. See, the Chinese know, they're like, fuck, if that guy gets that fucking, or that girl, if that amazingly beautiful girl gets that giant hashtag free satellite sign over China, we're only going to be able to obscure that for so long. So we have to go all out now, and we have to win this war, because we need to basically move the entire female enslaved, medically indoctrinated population of Australian women towards Iran. We need to kill all the men in Australia very quickly, probably with some type of Indian virus. And then we need to then convince the Iranian people that we can sell them the little fucking pinwheels. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get it. Don't look at my bum as I'm walking out of here. This is always the weird bit. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. This is literally, oh God, there's all dirt on the bottom of that. Oh. Whoops, someone's dropped the glass. China's whole strategy is they need to convince the Iranian population that is about to try and steal all the Australian women that they will need these still. You are still need a Chinese pinwheel? You still need... I know you are grand Iranian regime. As long China will support you, as long as you buy steal a pinwheel. You should buy a pinwheel from China. We will help you to do your thing. This is like look at this. It's like this is every child in the West. Every child with fucking Disney. And they're like, why? Everyone's kind of like, I don't know why all these people are acting so... All the Democratic Party, where Obama a couple of years ago was literally saying we can't have, crazy amounts of immigration, and he's your man. Obviously, there is some brainwashing going on. And so... we are at stratification of generational brainwashing activity that is all culminating in a global exposure, because we knew to this, where basically the whole argument rests on me saying, well, yes, I do feel a bit like a girl. My body does work a bit better as a girl, but that's not because I was made this way. It's because of all the fucking systemic industrial scale medical abuse that I've had to fucking go through. So it's an in stasis, in the air fucking adaptation strategy to watching my mother and the government try to kill my father and then defend themselves and each other with elevated levels of what they declare violence. So I have to be horrifically violent while being horrifically gorgeous, just like Holly Valance. And I've still got a penis. Just like Holly... No, I'm kidding. Well, I don't know. Maybe Holly Valance has a penis as well. You'll never know. You'll especially never know if you don't take your fucking eyes off the Chinese spinning pinwheel. Just take your eyes off the Chinese spinning pinwheel for a moment and understand that Holly Valance might have a penis. and I might have a vagina. And unless Holly Valance and I hook up and stroll into Ramsay Street, fucking umbrellas are swinging. Dr. Karl, you fucked us all. You fucked us all, Dr. Karl. And everyone knew that. I think if we look at, and whether Ramsay Street and Neighbours in general was basically funded and financed by the Ramsay Group, which is Ramsay Healthcare, which is, which did all this shit. Maybe Holly Valance is on the inside and they fucking tried to cancel her and remove her from the fucking earth, but she had connections and she was part of a global fucking thing. That's why her name is Holly Valance, which means to block with curtains Hollywood, because Hollywood is a fucking hideous MK Ultra fucking hypnosis machine that just lost a fucking multi-decade long war, and now everybody now knows the full story. Don't you all just want to go back to the days when we just contemplated whether we actually went to the moon or not? See, the thing is, it's all the same. And this is actually, if we just put the moon on the shelf, right, just put the moon on the shelf, and we realize that obviously the fact that the moon is signifying NASA's, full moon. It's always the full moon. Have you noticed? NASA is always talking about a full moon. It's not talking about a crescent moon, because a crescent moon is highly utilized by a specific religion, and most importantly by a specific extremist manifestation of a totalitarian, what are they called? I don't know, religious, whatever. So it's like, well, on NASA was a battle. It's a crusades basically, and we're saying there's a full moon because obviously the crescent moon is just shadowed by the sun. And I kid you not, this is literally. So if we think the Muslim culture holds its entire religious ideal behind a picture of a crescent moon, okay? That's been enough. That's enough for centuries. Most Western people, that is more than likely the only thing they may know that represents, that's their logo, okay? Like Apple, this is an apple. So pretty significant. And if we think of NASA, you never think of like astronauts landing on a crescent moon, do you? So same thing. It's like NASA, the entire thing. So let's just put the fact whether we landed there, because we're about to find out again, maybe, I don't know, in a week or so, or a couple of weeks. And Captain Wiseman, he's going to fucking be successful. I can tell. They're going to fucking land on the moon, and it's going to be full. They're not going to land on some fucking slippery slope fucking crescent moon. That's just ridiculous. So there's that going on. If you've also got to understand it, in the Jewish faith, they're usually referred to as moon worshippers. Okay, they're lunar worshippers. So the Islamic flag, the Islamic logo of the crescent moon, is basically saying, ha ha, our sun god is going to overcome your moon god. Do you get what I mean? Then there's kind of like, this is when it's like the moon disappears, but then there is another phenomenon where there's an eclipse, and at the full point of a solar eclipse, you can still see the sun at the outside of it, so it never conquers, and it's like this symbiotic fucking thing. But that's what all our religions are based on, okay? So if we think about that going on, this really simplistic, these are just two spheres, this is like the three-body problem. It literally is the three-body problem. So these two spheres just having interactions have being that was the only thing on Netflix for thousands and thousands of years. We have formed independent, iterative kind of conglomerations and then conquered like whole things to do with these certain really simplistic things to attach things to. Like another thing, when people try and remember a lot of things, a handy tip is to put all the things you want to remember on a piece of furniture in the house that you know really well, right? So they put all their memories on the moon as the crescent. And the Americans, they put all their memories on the moon, which was full, that they landed on and planted their flag on. And then they also planted other flags, like the fucking Rainbow Pride flag, which was utilized to cover up all the fucking systemic damage from intensely audio-visual hypnotic fucking manipulation of the entire world. Okay? They thought they could sweep all of that under the rug with one utopian ideology, which is actually, inspired by the Islamic utopian ideology. In the Islamic utopian ideology, all men, have this hypersexual, masculine glory, Valhalla, utopia, fucking 40 virgins, whatever. Okay, the women are just subservient. And in the Hollywood version, it's basically, they said, well, if that works that way, let's just make it the opposite. And then we will invoke the rainbow from the Bible, despite us being basically an atheistic pharmaceutical witch doctor cult. And we will literally declare ourselves that because God sent a rainbow to say he would never flood us again, we will now flood the world with rainbows and our new utopian ideal. And I'm just stuck in the middle. And I've just got my umbrella because I feel a flood coming. I feel like I've done everything I can do, okay, except open the freaking umbrella. Imagine that. Oh, there we go. Now, it's bad luck to open an umbrella indoors, but it's also bad luck to hypnotize the entire fucking population into some type of fucking cult. Okay, that's not what I'm doing. Does it look like that's what I'm doing? Would I be doing that? Why would I do that? Why would have I been trained to fucking hypnotize the entire world into a fucking cult? As if I'd ever have been trained by NASA and the fucking United States Marines and the British Army and the fucking military intelligence, MI6, MI5, Mossad, and fucking whatever the other fucking Russian one's called. The Gestapo? No, were they the Gestapo? What were they called? They were called KGB. So if I was ever going to be brainwashed and trained to unbrainwash and to repair all the damage done by all the fucking brainwashing in one go with a fucking ridiculous umbrella, why would anyone believe that would be going on? A society advanced enough to put man on the moon and do all this shit. I think they'd come up with something a little bit more ingenious than just a weird guy in a fucking girl's blouse spinning fucking black and white umbrella behind him to fix the world. So obviously that isn't going on. You shouldn't believe your eyes. You should just listen to the dull, dulcet tones of my voice and realize that you have indeed been fooled and that we are not going into a far-right extremist retaliatory event right now. We are finding the middle, and I guess I'm going to be the Prime Minister of the Liberal Party in Australia for a moment. Just long enough so that everyone recovers from the dizziness from all that umbrella spinning. Ugh. Okay, that is what Julie Andrews would have said, but she would have said it in a far more beautiful voice. In every job that must be done, there is an element of fun. Find the fun, and pow, the job's a game. And every something that you make will become a piece of cake. Alas, our sea is very tiny. That a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. The medicine go down. Medicine. Hang on. There. Go down. Yes, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. In the most delightful way. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. That a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down. the medicine go down. Medicine go down. Yes, a spoonful of sugar helps the medicine go down in the most delightful way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm just imagining all the roses being thrown, but that'll do for now. Bye-bye. Bye.